She was also the Commonwealth Observer at the 2018 Zimbabwe presidential elections, and she represented Malaysia to the CHOGM meeting in London in 2018. And to add to all that, Kim finds time to write. She's the author of for LexisNexis Practical Guide for Corporate Law Module in the Companies Act 2016. She sits on the board of advisors for the School of Law at the University of Sheffield. She's treasurer for the Inns of Court Malaysia. So you can see that Kim is a very busy and accomplished woman. So we're lucky that we managed to get her today to moderate our session. So before I pass it on to Kim, I just like to remind everybody again to make sure that your microphone's on mute so that we don't hear all your secrets from the house of your or your office. And also, if you have any questions during the session, please just type it in the chat box so that we can pick it up from there. So I'll pass you to Kim. Kim?
Thank you very much, Dato' Azlin. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Tun is on the phone.
For your information, he's using the phone to hear better.
Ah, okay, that's fine. So without much ado, we'll commence the Merdeka talk. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we ask ourselves, what does Merdeka mean to us? The form and spirit of Merdeka means different things to different people. And I think it's safe to say that we're all gathered here today for our united love for our nation. As we celebrate Malaysia's 64th Independence Day today, in the spirit of unity, as a big Malaysian family, we reflect with a deep sense of gratitude, of love, and of patriotism. We take this wonderful opportunity to reflect on the struggles and sacrifices of our leaders, past and present, to celebrate the peace and joy today. Ladies and gentlemen, Tun Haniff Omar is our inaugural speaker for the BGAM's Live to Inspire series. When I was invited by the President and Exco of BGAM to moderate this inaugural Merdeka special, I was humbled and honored to accept such responsibility, featuring our illustrious national figure. This event was only finalized a week ago, so suffice to say we had less than a week to plan, to organize, and to gather such a distinguished crowd here today. We all worked hard to ensure that the memories and legacy of our country leaders will be forever cherished, beginning with Tun Haniff on this auspicious Merdeka Day. We're blessed to have priceless contributions in the form of archived newspaper articles, painstakingly rummaged through the stacks of old newspapers by the sister of Tan Sri Zainun Ali, retired federal court judge, Aisha Ali, a renowned journalist. Thank you very much, Tan Sri and Aisha, for these priceless gems. Later, I'll show all of you. The archives date back as old as 1984. It's amazing. Tun Haniff, as the 4th IGP of Malaysia, has come a long way. And now at age 82, we can say that Tun has seen it all. At the age of 35, the youngest IGP ever appointed in the Commonwealth at that time, Tun has the best of both worlds of education. At 20 years old, Tun is a proud graduate of University of Malaya, Singapore in 1959, majoring in economics and history. Tun then read law as a matured student. Now, if this is not inspiring, I don't know what it is. At 45 years old, Tun went to read law at the University of Buckingham, and he graduated with a Bachelor of Laws with honors from Buckingham University in 1986 at age 47 years old. That is so impressive, Tun. And Tun, you became IGP at a point in time of Malaysia's growth when we were faced with extreme challenges, with the Malayan Communist Party, amongst others, at its height. The short video earlier aired by Bukit Aman just about sums up a fraction of the highlights of Tun's achievements in the Royal Malaysian Police. Now, Tun, we'd like to start with the first question for you. You were only 18 years old, Tun, when Malaysia gained its independence, a proud chapter in the history of Malaysia. Tunku Abdul Rahman at that time was Prime Minister of Malaysia. Now, at 18 years old, Tun, how did you feel about it? You know, the world was your oyster. What did Merdeka mean to you at that time?
Well, at 18, I was in my second year in the university. But my feeling towards Merdeka occurred when I was younger. I was in the Malay College, and we had Tun Abdul Razak's brother, only 1 year my senior in the Malay College. So we kept abreast of political developments. And so when we neared towards independence, a group of 5 of us from the University of Malaya, Singapore, traveled up to Kuala Lumpur to attend the Merdeka celebrations. And sad to say, I'm the only one alive now, you know. And I saw the midnight ceremony where we brought down the Union Jack and brought up our flag for the first time. But I missed the main event in the stadium the following day because it was rainy, and I was staying in a friend's house, and he failed to get up. And I didn't know my way in Kuala Lumpur, so I missed that one. But I was fired up by Merdeka, and I took a walk along Jalan Tuanku Abdul Rahman, at that time Batu Road they call it, you know, strutting about very proudly. Mind you, in those days, Malays don't strut up and down the streets there because it was a Chinese city. There were only 10% Malays in Kuala Lumpur in those days, and we used to avoid, say, Jalan Raja Laut, Chowkit, you know, these were not places for the Malays, although Kampung Baru was close by. But I walk about, and I was surprised that the shopkeepers and the attendants didn't look very enthusiastic about Merdeka. I shouted Merdeka, Merdeka, they didn't respond. What I didn't realize that time was that there were very few Chinese who were citizens of the country. And they were mostly in Penang and Melaka. The bulk of the Chinese had yet to become citizens. So they were not so enthusiastic about the celebration. That was my impression those days, you know, that we still had a long way to go to become a nation. And even as late as 1974, when I went to China with Tun Razak, we had about almost 300,000 Chinese who were still not citizens. And they were offered to China by Tun Razak. So you can see that we needed at that time quite a bit of nation building. And we were moving along that way towards good nation building under Tunku Abdul Rahman, Tun Razak, Tun Dr. Ismail. I think the best trio in our early history.